Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Pathfinder Plays, and today we are going to be starting a new series of Dead Matter. This series is going to cover all confirmed features of various topics and categories in the game. It is important to note that though the information I will be sharing is confirmed, they may not be immediately available during closed alpha and are subject to change. The video you are watching now is going to be about the servers and the map itself. Making a video on two topics which are pretty shrouded in unknowns was challenging, but I tried my best. So to the moderators or developers who are watching this video, if you hear something that is old news, updated, or just wrong, please let us all know in the comments below. As for the rest of you, if you want more Dead Matter content and want to help support the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button to be notified of all future uploads. With Dead Matter Closed Alpha releasing for backers to enjoy next month, there will be people who are going to want to be backers to gain access. So the first thing I want to address are the three most asked questions I see in the Dead Matter Reddit, every Twitter post, and every minute in their Discord. How can you become a backer? Will we be able to become a backer after the closed alpha launches, and how to play the game? Well, number one, you can become a backer by supporting the game with Indiegogo or their official website QI Software. The links will be in the description of this video, so check it out. And yes, you will be able to become a backer and gain access to the game after closed alpha has launched. You will actually be able to become a backer at any point throughout the closed alpha process, as far as I know. And finally, when it comes to playing the game, you can't play it as of this recording, but you will be able to play next month if you back the game. The date for release of closed alpha is not yet released, but the next month should be filled with excitement regardless, because not only do we get the closed alpha, we also get to look forward to another developer vlog prior. With that out of the way, I want to try and talk about a topic that has the potential to be confusing and is filled with lots of unknown factors: the servers. September 2019's developmental update mentioned that, quote, "We also have the tools set up within Steam for anyone with a copy of the game to launch and maintain their own Dead Matter dedicated servers from within Steam. Players will be able to either host one locally just for themselves or others on their network, or use the same files to host dedicated servers as they wish," end quote. This is honestly great that they are releasing this option, because there are friends who just want to play together without needing to rely on somebody else's server. They can just make a local match and play the game themselves. Now, back then we thought that everything would be through Steam the whole time, or at least I did. But stuff changes. Only for the closed alpha, we will have to download the game and server files from the QI Software website. That is the official website for the team behind Dead Matter, for anybody who is not familiar with the name. Though some of you may groan at this idea having a separate launcher, this does not change anything besides what application you start the game from. Using their own launcher for the closed alpha enables the developers to fix bugs, give patches and updates, and make the game all around more balanced and fun quicker without the need to jump through Steam's loops. This is a good thing for everybody. As far as server files and launching the server, this should not be a big problem. Honestly, from what I have heard, it should be almost as easy as launching the game itself. If you want to create a private server for you and your friends, then it should be 3 simple steps and basic knowledge on how to edit a text file. Number 1, you open the files. Number 2, you edit and configure the file. And number 3, you launch the server. These are usually the steps that need to be taken to start a local server. Because we have SQLite support, you don't need any crazy knowledge over service-saving data. SQLite should already be in the files themselves and will take care of that for you. If I am wrong, please, once again, somebody correct me in the comments. But for those who want to host a public server for everybody to join, it won't be so simple if you want to do it yourself. But most people will want to use the official server hosting company that Dead Matter has chosen, Nitrito. Link is also in the description below if you are interested in renting your own server. Some things that I don't know about but will assume will be available either at launch or eventually are whitelisted servers, reserved slots for admins or specific users, and Linux support. support. My opinion on this is that giving out server files at the initial launch is a fantastic thing for everybody. Players can create their own communities, their own worlds, and friends will be able to create their own small safe havens. But the most important thing to me is that players will be able to join up with friends to roam around looking for bugs and glitches uninterrupted, unheeded, and without spending a dime on server hosting providers. Looking at you, Deadside. But servers mean nothing if there is no map to play on, obviously, so let's talk about that just briefly to give you all an idea of how it will work. The map size for closed alpha is going to be a 5 by 5 kilometers and will scale up to 16 by 16 as the map progresses for early access. The Calgary map is planned to be a very dense urban environment of 6 by 6 kilometers, and eventually there will be a Vancouver Island DLC, but it is way too early to tell what that will be like. This information is up to date as of May 15th by Onyx in the Dead Matter Discord. So, how this works is kind of confusing because I have heard different things from different people, but from my understanding, we will be able to host a server and choose which map we want for it, but that goes for one server. The interesting part comes in when we host more than one server. So, let's just say that we have one server with the map of Calgary and a second server with Alberta. This is where the magic of the SQL database comes in action. When we connect both of our servers together to one database, we will be able to have a so-called transition point in our servers. Transition point means that while being on one server, you can actually walk your way to the other one. So when entering a transition point, the player will have a loading screen as the player is being transferred from one server to another. Here is how Reggie Bless talked about it. Basically, the whole eastern edge of the map will be a transition point, with some specific transition points that can be hotspots for players looking for a fight. But both maps, Alberta 16 by 16 kilometers and Calgary 6 by 6 kilometers, will be fully functional maps independent of one another. Think of it as being able to travel from Chernarus to Livonia in DayZ. That is absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait to experience that. As the player spawns in, there will be a given set of locations to pick from to choose where to spawn in at. As a cherry on top of that, the player will be able to locate more spawn points when exploring. This is very important because it gives a crazy amount of incentive to go out exploring, because it will benefit you later on when you die and want to spawn somewhere or even transition from one area to the next like we're covering here. Keep in mind, the further location you choose to spawn at, the more calorie and hydration points you will lose. So be sure to plan accordingly. And that is about it, ladies and gentlemen. We covered these two topics because they aren't really mentioned that often on YouTube, and I feel like they are just super important to the community as a whole. That being said, again, this is a new series, and the next video I will be covering something else in good detail, so stay tuned for more. And as always, if you guys like survival and scavenging, consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, sharing this with your friends, and I will see you guys in the next one. Path out.